Hello, let's go Browns. Come on. Boy, after what has been an exciting defensive start, hopefully we can keep it up today. As I've said all week, this is a game of hate. We hate the Ravens. The rivalry with the Steelers is very strong, and it should be for obvious reasons. But this is the hate game. There's nothing we like. We Browns. Let's beat the Rappers today. Let's take it out. This is a great opportunity for our Browns. They have such a wonderful opportunity here today, Tony, as he joins us now. Look at that with that Browns cap.
Oh
This
yeah,
is a rare opportunity to get a game on a team where sometimes we don't even have a matchup with where we like it. I think I see a multiple across the board here today, Tony.
yeah. Really think we've got the advantage everywhere. You don't want to get too comfortable because it's still going to be a dirty AFC North game like it always is. Every time we've played the Ravens recently, it's been these slugfests. So I'm not anticipating things are going to be easy, but we have the advantage, and if we take care of business, it should be another easy one.
I'm kind of with you on this. I really do see this as a game where the Browns don't turn over the ball and make smart decisions. I actually don't think they need to be aggressive in this matchup. So let's actually start with the Jackson and Watson matchup, which is the matchup. I believe Watson's playing. I guess we should lead off there. I believe this is all hocus pocus, to be honest with you. It's been very weird with this questionable listing for Watson. Have your feelings changed since the last time we spoke? Because I don't see him not playing today.
I mean, I don't see him not playing. Like, I think he's definitely going to go. But in terms of like, I feel like it's definitely a little bit like real. He's probably dealing with a banged up shoulder. I mean, to not throw basically all week at practice is not normal. So it's not like he's 100%, but I don't think he's really going to be at a level where it's truly going to affect him that much. I think he's probably 80, 85. He played a game back at Clemson with a torn ACL, so banged up shoulder. I think he'll be all right.
I think he will be too. The Browns don't need Watson to play fantastic or great or even to win. They just need him to play, a good average game. When it comes to Jackson, Jackson has to play well for the Ravens to win. He's not only their leading passer, he's probably the leading rusher at this point. As Gumby 19 points out, curious to see what Jim Schwartz wrote up to deal with the mobility of Jackson. I'll put in this 1 point, Gumby, and I'll let Tony take it from there. I think it's a JOK game. In the past, when JOK's been healthy, he's done really well in these games. I would not deviate from that plan.
Yeah, I think it's going to be JOK as the spy most of the time, but we've got
Yeah.
so much speed everywhere on the defense. I'd like to see them get a little complicated and try to confuse him at times. Maybe blitz JOK, let one of the D linemen spy, because most of the edge rushers that are going to be in on third down are probably fast enough to keep up with him outside of the D tackles. But if you keep it to the edges, they should be good to do it too. But I really think it is a JOK mainly as the spy. But throwing up different looks at him is not going to be a harmful thing, and it's only going to mess with his head more.
Yeah, I just think in these kind of games, what to do what to do with Lamar is continue to pressure and pressure and pressure. Cam Holmes, what we need is DTR. You know what? A couple weeks ago, I actually listened to that idea, but I want Watson to follow up with what he did with another good game this week. It actually makes a whole lot more sense now. Neil, gonna see a lot of stunts from our D line. I agree with you about that. The big thing in these games for the Ravens is tackling, actually. We haven't really talked about that, Tony. They got to tackle well. You got to bring these guys down. The Ravens tackle well. That's the one thing they do on defense, even their backups. Browns have to bring the guys down. Lamar Jackson gets through, bring him down immediately. Do not allow him to break a tackle, because that's when these guys get very dangerous for the Ravens.
Yeah, definitely easier said than done with Lamar Jackson tackling him in open space. But 3 games of the Browns this year, it's been a transformation of tackling. The amount of catch tackles the defense is allowing, and then just getting guys down. We're not seeing them break through for 4, 5, 6 extra yards every play. It is a huge key, though, because Lamar is so dynamic with the ball in his hands. He's going to have a few where he gets a little bit of space. The key is limiting those plays to 5 or 6 yards instead of 12, 15, 20 yards.
There we go, Derek. That's the spirit. Break the birds back. Bring home a victory today, Derek. Yeah, another thought in this game too, Tony, which is good, is the Browns, even though it's a questionable with their starting quarterback, which never means a good week of injuries, Browns are relatively healthy again. Hunt's fine. Newsom's back. Sounds like everybody else will be, even even the tackle's name, I can't remember, the Hudson. He's back too. So everybody's pretty healthy. The Ravens are the complete opposite. A lot of injuries to this team. That's going to affect Jackson more than anybody because he has 2 wide receivers out, no OBJ today. It doesn't sound like the tackle's going to be playing today either, Tony. So it's just such a great opportunity for the Browns to win this game today. I can't say enough. They got to take advantage of this today. Really do.
Yeah, the Ravens are really beat up on both sides. They're going to be missing a couple big pass rushers. No Marlon Humphrey's huge. Kyle Hamilton might be out. And then you talked about the injuries on offense. They're still going to have Mark Andrews and Zay Flowers, who are probably their 2 best receivers, but really a lot of injuries for the Ravens that should help the Browns get an easy win here.
Colin, I would say today with Mark Andrews, I would actually get bold, and coaches don't like to do this. I would probably put a cornerback because I don't get feared by any of these guys. That's not what typical NFL coaches do, but Andrews does tear us up. It'll probably be a linebacker or safety, but I would get crazy because all these wide receivers are out for the Ravens. And Njoku Kitco is probably going to play, but there's all sorts of rumors out there. And for people who didn't catch it, Njoku did get burned in a fire. Hopefully he's doing okay. He was trying to light a fire pit, it sounds like. It didn't go so well, obviously, and he got burned. It's hard to of Njoku, to be honest with you. But, Tony, back to the other gentleman with Andrews, I would get creative and really try to take him away because he is their top receiver to me. I know Flowers is playing well, but to me, he's the top receiver in his team today.
Yeah, he's only going to get going as the season goes on more. He missed week 1, so didn't have that first week to really get that connection with Lamar and the new offense down. But we've seen the damage that Mark Andrews can do. He's a very good tight end, maybe the second best in the game right now, right behind Kelsey.
Right.
I think it's going to be a day where we see Delpit on him a lot because we like to rotate Delpit down into the box. Delpit's got the speed, and he's a little more physical. The only thing I worry with all of our corners is outside of Emerson, I don't think we have one big and physical enough to guard Andrews.
I know.
And I don't think they want to move Andrews or Emerson from the outside because Andrews is never going to be on the outside. But it is a good idea because Nelson Aguilar is now stepping into wide receiver 2 for the Ravens, and they don't really have a whole lot of talent beyond that. So I think it's going to be another big Grant Delpit day if he can keep playing the way he's playing. And more than anything, like it's going to be said every single time before the game, if the D-line can set the tempo like they've been, everything else is going to fall right into place.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, the D-line's everything. This offensive line for the Ravens, it's not terrible, but it's certainly banged up. Pretty crazy that Njoku got burned. Reminds me of the Ravens defense today. I hope you're right, Derek. I hope you're right. Another point I've been bringing up all week, Tony, is I would love for Stefanski today to coach the game conservatively. When there's 4th down opportunities and there's opportunities where you're kind of on that fringe of do you go for it or do you kick the field goal or punt, I would love to see him kicking today. I don't think he has to go over the edge. Allow your defense to kind of win the day here. That's what I'd like to see from Stefanski at least.
Yeah, it's going to be a big step in his development as a coach because in all of his days as a coach, he's been the unit. He's been the leader of the offensive unit, which has been the unit that's carried the team. And he's usually had to hide the defense. It's looking like the opposite so far this year.
Right.
And you don't want the offense to ruin good field position for the defense. You want to put them in the most favorable positions. And there's going to be times where it'll be okay, but the aggressiveness has to be dialed back, which is something I'm usually not for. I'm usually all for the aggressiveness, but until our defense proves otherwise, you have to cater to them.
See, that's well said. Cater to your defense. Colin says, run the damn ball, Kevin. Now that Mr. Chubb's out, I'm reluctant to do that as much. If Chubb was here, oh my gosh, I'd be doing a much different pregame show. He's not here. I actually see what I'm seeing early as I see a guy like Ford who needs to get carries but needs to be limited. And already 1 game in, Hunt's banged up. So I do think we need to run the ball, yes. Tony, I don't really want them. I hate saying this. They need to pass a little bit more than they need to run right now, in my opinion.
Yeah, they got to use the pass to open up the run. The O-line, they've been having some miscues in both pass game and run game, so that needs to get sorted out. It's going to be a running back by committee the rest of the year, even if Hunt's healthy. I think Ford's probably more of the lead back, but we're going to see some Pierre Strong, and I think he's looked solid. We're going to see Kareem Hunt. We're going to see Jerome Ford. It's going to be nice at the end of games when we have a lead, hopefully, to just be able to salt it away on the ground, but we're going to really need to have success throwing the ball to make those lanes for running a lot more open.
Jay Wood, here we go. Brownings is right. Air it out and throw some nice screens. Yes, I would like to throw some screens today.
Yes.
Actually, rather have to run the ball. need a big day from Elijah Moore. Yeah, I've peeled back my expectations. Sadly, that's the one guy last week who did not play well. He had a fumble, obviously, and Tony. I've not been. I hate to say it, not been thrilled with Elijah Moore. Very slow start here in Cleveland. Look, it's a long season, and things can change, but it's been a slow start.
Yeah, I think they need to stop trying to give him the ball in these gimmicky situations. He's a talented route runner, and that's where he excels the most. He's good in space. If we're gonna give him divert so many of our touches to him, let's not give 3 touches a game that are
Right.
meaningless. Like let's cut down his touches, but make sure his touches are truly quality ones where he's got a chance to do something, not just a reverse where he's got no blockers out in front of him. If we want to run those type of gimmicky plays, that's fine. Leave it for Marquise Goodwin. Leave it for other guys that are failing to get targets. We'd like to get DPJ more involved. We'd really like to get Njoku more involved. So cut back on his targets, but increase the quality of his targets. Really let him do more downfield work running routes, not just handing the ball off to him.
Yeah, Jay Wood wants just to make the most of his targets. That's what Tony's alluding to. Again, all fair. I thought Moore got put into the game plan and Moore didn't execute at times. I don't know what else to say. I mean, I didn't. I just saw a guy who struggled a little bit. Run Cooper's a DK as a decoy. Moore is way faster too. I actually think Amari Cooper shouldn't be a decoy at all. Throw the ball to Amari Cooper when he can.
Yeah.
I don't think we celebrate him enough as Browns fans. He's a very good receiver.
Yeah,
Sorry.
he's like as good as they get. It's hard. If he had some more speed, that's really all you could ask for out of him. He does everything else so well, and he's not. I mean, he might be a decoy at times, but they don't really have anybody playing today who can even come close to slowing him down. We've seen him have big game after big game when the defenses know he's going to be the focal point, and he's still going to continue to do that. Him and Deshaun have a great connection, and he's a great route runner. That's why it's his Instagram handle. So I expect them to keep feeding Cooper, and if they really decide to bracket him towards the end of the game, then maybe it opens up opportunities for other guys. But until that point comes, feed him as much as you can.
Feed the beast. Feed the beast. We're going to transition real quick and go back to predictions to get us out of here. Last day for Francona today for the Guardians. It's a game. Go Browns. It's going to be a game where I don't think there'll be a lot of viewers today. At times, we'll all be watching the end of the Ravens game. But love Terry Francona. He's done a lot for the city. Wonderful manager. It's going to be hard to see him go. This is it today, Tony. It's just he's been the best manager of my lifetime, and I love Grover. I know Grover personally. It hurts me to say it, but he's been a better manager. And I just think Francona has done a lot for this organization in the city.
Yeah, he really has. He's been perfect. We couldn't have dreamed a better hire when you got him back in 2013. And it's going to be a different day in the clubhouse without him when he's gone. But it's exciting if they can do it in the right way. If they can bring in a fresh mind who's actually knows what he's doing, because I think Tito's ways are getting a little outdated. He doesn't adapt as much to the newer ways. But I'm really looking forward to just getting someone new in there. But with that being said, losing Tito sucks. Like he's one of the best managers to ever do it, and he's done great things to this city. We've had great championship runs with him.
Love him too, Jay Witt. Thank you for being a part of the show today. I have the Browns 21-6, and I'm not. And this would be like if I were a neutral fan. The matchups are everywhere. They've done well recently against Lamar Jackson. I don't see him going off. I think the Ravens have some more leaking oil issues than what we know. I see the Browns win this game today. Tony, I'm seeing a similar thing with the defense. I just don't see this defense giving up much, and I will mark it. So Darius Smith hasn't gone off. I think this will be the game he goes off.
Yeah, I think this is going to be the game where we break through with turnovers, because we haven't gotten any turnovers yet, and I know some people don't love that. But when you are only on the field 3 plays drive, there's not many opportunities for turnovers. I'm thinking the Browns 23-10 today. I'll give the Ravens the benefit of getting a touchdown, but defense is going to dominate. Maybe even a defensive score today. We're getting at least one takeaway.
Hate the birds. Let's bring home a victory. Tony Camino there. I'm Andy Billman here. Check out all of our content, believeintheland.com. Go to the Believe in the Land YouTube page. See you here at halftime, after the game. Go Browns!